we have a little girl. Her name's Eleanor. And, oh, you like that name? I asked that because people love to tell us how much they like that name and then immediately tell us how it could be better. They're like, oh, Eleanor, I love that name. Are you guys going to call her Ellie? No, I think we're just going to call her Eleanor. Oh, yeah. What about Ella? Or Elle? What about Chloe? Amelia? That's a pretty name. You could change it to Amelia. We're old, but it was our first child, so we did everything. We went through all the birthing classes, and I learned this in the birthing class. When a woman goes into labor and starts pushing hard, very often something else comes out. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. This happens all the time. It's nothing to be ashamed about. My wife goes into labor. She starts pushing, and I think you guys know what happened. I pooped my pants. Missed the whole delivery. I would have been embarrassed, too, if it wasn't for that birthing class. It's very common. It happens all the time. We're clearly old parents, and we're trying not to let our daughter figure it out, but she's starting to catch on. Our daughter's first words were, "Ugh." Her first sentence was, "I think I pulled something." We're cheap parents. We let her watch YouTube videos, but we don't pay not to have the ads. So she'll just be watching a video, and every few minutes an ad will pop up, and then we wait 5 seconds and hit skip ads. And I watch her expression. It never changes. She doesn't even realize it's an ad. She just thinks it's part of the show she's watching. She's just like, well, I guess Miss Rachel has erectile dysfunction. And this was her time to tell us about it. Whenever I take my daughter to a park or a playground, I always stick very close to her. Not for her safety, for mine. Because I don't look like I belong there. I keep my head down only at my child. I don't look at anybody else's kid. And I stick close to her because I want them to know I have a reason to be there. Because I don't look old enough to look like the sweet old grandpa just there with his granddaughter. I just look old enough to be like, that guy should not be near the monkey bars. And now that I travel all the time, I love kids now. And if a kid's close to my daughter's age, I like to see what they're doing, how they compare to my child. But I'll just be at the airport, just sitting there, just staring at some kid. And the mom will be there with him like, what are you looking at, creep? And I'm like, take it easy, lady. I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at your kid. So we have a little dog, a little Maltipoo, and her name's Hazel, and she's 7 pounds, and she's our little, we love her to death. But lately, Hazel started having some behavior issues to the point where our vet recommended we take her to see a behavior specialist at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. About 3 hours from here. He said, this woman is like a dog whisperer. She's the best there is. If anybody could help Hazel with her problems, it would be her. So my wife and I and Hazel drove 3 hours to Knoxville to see a dog therapist. Now, one of Hazel's issues is when we put our daughter to bed at night and we sit down on the couch to watch TV and Hazel falls asleep on the couch, my wife likes to pick her up and cuddle her, hold her like a baby. But lately, Hazel started growling whenever my wife tries to pick her up, like aggressively growling, like showing her teeth growling. And the behavior specialist said the reason Hazel growls when my wife tries to pick her up is, and I thought this was interesting, she doesn't want to be picked up. I'm like, wow, she is good. And she said, what you do in this case is don't pick her up. And then she charges a lot of money. We drove home. Hazel doesn't like to go for walks sometimes, and she gets scared to go. And my wife's like, what dumb dog? And I was like, but she does weigh 7 pounds, and our neighbor has a dog that weighs 70 pounds. And I think if any of us went for a walk, and we might run into a person that weighs 10 times more than us, we might be a little nervous. That's why I don't go to Golden Corral anymore.